Damn it, Wagwan, and welcome to the UKMF podcast. How are you two boys?
I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful.
Yeah, I'm pretty good, thank you.
I said on the Christmas one that I would start off every podcast with a fancy thing at the start, so that was my go-to for today.
You did.
This is why you're just insistent on starting them now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is that
you make it seem like you're not that fussed, but you're like, shall I start it today then, guys?
Oh no, I've grown into it now that I've thought of some clever way to start it off.
Well, I mean,
have you read the list?
No, but my big brain just remembers all of it.
Christ,
These
are gonna dry up pretty soon. Then.
We'll get just to the end of this month, and that'll be
Cav, mate, you've got the brain of a dementia man, mate. That's not even a thing, but.
Cheers, Ben. Thank you.
That's not even a thing as well. No.
I don't take my CV.
Yeah.
The first 30 seconds.
You pissed me off yesterday, mate.
I'm not Ronaldo. You can't expect me to do much.
Oh, I was fuming.
And you were shit as well.
I was the best outfield player on the pitch by a mile.
No, that's Kieran, mate.
So, today's topic, lads, before we start railing off onto football, today's topic is previous jobs or current jobs, so jobs as a general. You two, you've only had 2 jobs each?
I've had 4.
4. Cav, you've only had 2. What do you want?
No, mate, 3.
Oh yeah, but two
don't count.
Nah,
2.
two were in the same place, though, weren't they?
Oh no, I was gonna say paper round was as one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you want to include your paper round, then fine.
Yeah, that's where the graph started.
My job list looks awful, then.
Oh, technically, I could say 5.
Rent boy.
5?
Yeah.
What were your 5 then?
When I was a wee nipper, when I was about 14, I think I was allowed to do it. I did my refereeing qualification. Refereed about 5 games, got the money back that I paid for the course, and decided I hated it. So I never refereed a game again. That was fun. What did I have? I had a kid that bit someone on his team, and I had to send the kid that bit the other kid off, but he was on the bench. It was so confusing. I didn't know what I was doing. I was well out of my depth, and these were like 7-year-old kids biting each other. So the parents had to pay like a £40 fine because I sent someone off. It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Sounds like fun. So, what was your first job, Liam?
Are we including paper rounds?
No, we'll just skip the paper rounds.
All right. I went to Peacocks, lad. Peacocks in Worthing, the pinnacle of jobs, if you will.
That's it's down. It's what store 21 used to be in it.
Yeah, opposite.
Yeah.
Eggs and that.
Yeah.
It was quite an interesting job. I mean, I was supposed to be on shop floor on tills and stuff. And somehow they just managed to push me further and further back into stock room, bringing in deliveries and stuff. And I was just kind of there like, I'm certain I'm supposed to be on the shop floor. And I brought it up, and they go, "Oh no, we thought we'd promote you." And I go, "Oh, so pay rise?" And they go, "No, same pay." I thought, "Oh,
just
sick."
move you then. It's not promotion, is it? That's just moving someone.
Yeah. But it was decent. I'd much rather do that again than be on the actual shop floor, because the times where I was on the shop floor was bloody awful. Retail is horrid. Don't do it. Never do it.
Goodbye for advice.
It is.
Cav, are we gonna have to skip your first, like not your first job, but because you've only done how many jobs have you done, Liam? 2 or 3?
Oh no, much
Liam's
more.
done too many.
Okay, that's
loads of jobs.
So we're gonna have to go like Liam, me, Liam, Cav, me, Liam, me, Cav, just to like make it feel like it's been spread out, so Cav's just not said his 2 straight away. And then
This is true.
and then he just doesn't speak for the rest of the episode. Liam, what was the biggest perk of working at Peacocks?
I don't know.
Money.
There was literally none. No, the money was awful.
Nah, but
the money was absolutely awful. Like the only perk that there was like the first boss we had, who left within the space of like a month and a half of that store opening. It was so sad. He was so chill. He was insanely chill. So if you weren't where you were supposed to be, like most other bosses they would have a go at you. He wouldn't. He'd then stand there, have a joke and a laugh with you. Like, have either of you seen The Office, either the American or the British? He was literally the David Brent, Michael Scott of Peacock, and it was great.
No, I think a perk of working in town, because I do at the moment, is you have. So for you had like Greg's opposite, you had KFC opposite, or was it not there at that point? Was it still down the road?
It was down the road, but that's
yeah
closer than where it is now.
Yeah, you had Mackey's round the road. Like food-wise, working in town is ideal.
Yeah,
Tesco's up the road for a meal deal. Policimo.
It was good for food, but I mean, Peacock. I wasn't really at Peacocks thinking of food. That was in my skinny days where Liam actually had definition to this gut. So food wasn't really a problem.
What would you rate Peacocks then? Out of 10?
With the first boss, I would have been up at like 8. With the other two bosses, down at 3. So I'll put it in a nice middle, say 5.
So it's a big old would not recommend.
Not with the people that are there currently, but if you want that good boss, Hove Peacocks is where he's at now, and it's sick stuff. It's so cool.
What you spend your first jobby?
So my first job was an apprenticeship that I lasted for like 9-10 months, something like that. I was just plumbing and gas engineering. Cool. It was so I was 4 days a week at work, 1 day a week at college. Had to go all the way to fucking Burgess Hill to go to college to do it. Pain in the arse. Especially when you're 17 earning like £4 an hour. Paying for a train up to Burgess Hill every week is not ideal. No. But yeah, it was all right. Like, it wasn't my favourite thing to do in the world. I got on well with my boss, which I think helped massively because I think I preferred working with him than I actually did doing the job. But yeah, we would just like, there were days where we'd obviously like finish early, which is the same with any trade. Like there are days where you just finish early. Like you get so far into a job and you can't start the next thing because like if you start the next thing, it's got to be finished by the end of the day. So a house has got running water, so you kind of like finish off at like 2:33 because there's not enough time in the day to actually finish that. So yeah, early finishes were good, and we did used to like go off if we didn't have much work in a day. We just end up going up like Sussex Gun Club and just like go like clay pigeon shooting for like a couple of hours and then go home. That was pretty sick. It is good, but we used to just go out and just get food all the time as well. So like if you're just like trying to lose weight, it's just trades just aren't the place to go because you're just constantly out going to cafes, going to like we used to go to the piggery like once every week or every 2 weeks. So that was like a huge bloody sandwich, just calorific as fuck.
Yeah, the piggery's dangerous.
Yeah, and that was like probably like twice a month at least. We would go there potentially even 3 times. Turner's Pies, that was pretty rinsed in Rustington when we had like lots of jobs over in Rustington. So yeah, like it was just, and then yeah, every day. So I used to have to, my boss lived in Durrington, so I used to get the train from East Worthing to Durrington. But I had to get a train that like got me in like 20 minutes before like we'd start the day, because otherwise like the next one I'd be late. So I used to go, because I was so bored, I used to go to a bakery, come back, eat something from the bakery before work, and then like by the time I'd done that, my boss would be ready to pick me up. It was just the eating, constantly looking back at it. I remember there were days where I'd like stay up and watch UFC like before work, and I'd just be asleep in the van like the whole way to jobs. I'd get the job done, go back into the van, just fall asleep until I'd gone home. It was horrendous. I was just a nightmare. Looking back at it, I was not ready to be working 5 days a week at that point in my life. But then the company, like, just he was new to having his own company, and it just didn't work. So then I was made redundant, and I didn't have a job for 4 months, which was great fun.
Great success.
Great success. I couldn't imagine Cav picking up a tool.
Oh God, no.
It's quite a funny image in my head, though.
It'd be dangerous. I mean, seeing him in high school and like DT and stuff, having to make the projects that we had to make, I wasn't any good at it either. But seeing this guy use anything in there,
It was shambolic.
Yeah.
It was dangerous.
Yeah. Could just imagine Cav with a blowtorch trying to solder some pipes together. End up like burning his hand off.
There's a reason I'm not in that business, unfortunately. Fortunately for me.
Fortunately for everyone.
I don't know, it would be quite good to just live stream on YouTube. You get loads of views, to be fair.
A YouTube video idea. Teach Cav how to use tools.
Great.
Suicide mission. Yeah, you could call it suicide mission. You could have a
whole series.
You could do a whole series on it, Cav.
What, becoming Captain Thornton becomes Scott Tucknut?
Yeah, no, but I don't think you'd ever be able to get that good, Cav.
I can't say I'm planning on it either, to be honest.
There we go. Well, I think we're going to have to go back to Liam's second job. Because Cav is so diverse. To be fair, I think you can say you've worked 3.
Again,
I worked 3. I've done 2 different jobs at one place.
Yeah, so I think you can.
Oh, yeah, fair then. Yeah.
Alright. So I worked at a car garage cleaning cars. I can't remember how old I was when I started.
Probably 16.
I know. I was started well young. Summer holidays and stuff. I just pop in, like half terms.
Yeah.
Just going like your day here and there.
Yeah, because I remember it was when like we all used to hang out, wasn't it? So that was year 9, 10, something like that.
Probably, yeah.
Well, about the age of 13, we all started hanging out. So
Yeah, so I was
13,
spiffing
14.
cars since I was 13, 14 until second year of college. I finished college, and then year after college I went full time doing spiffing still. And then I can't remember how old. I think I must have been 18. But I started
older than that.
19.
I'd say 19, 20. Something like that.
Yeah, it must have been 18 or 19, and I went on to do parts manager instead.
You couldn't have been 19 because you were 19 when we started meeting again, and you were definitely cleaning cars at that point.
I know, but at one point I was in both jobs, so half a day, so like 8:30 till 1.
Okay,
it was cleaning cars. No, 8:30 till 1. It was doing paperwork and stuff. Then after lunch, it was spiffing cars.
I still think that change happened after we met.
I can't
pretty
remember.
sure.
That whole place is just one big shit blur. To be honest. What I learned was cleaning cars is much less stress than dealing with customers and dealing with paperwork.
People are dickheads, man.
I was just about to say people have problems.
Especially when your managers are also the number one problem.
Was that Salad Man?
Oh no.
Salad Man.
No. Salad Man, he's decent. Salad Man's decent. The owners were the problemo.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Who the fuck was Salad Man? I'm so confused right now.
You'll hear the story one day.
One day, alright.
Mate, you're literally talking about your job. You could just throw
This is true. Basically.
as a story.
It's alright.
No.
That's it.
So basically, a certain someone at work came in and ate an entire bag of salad and an entire block of cheese on their lunch break, and they claimed it was healthy because he ate the salad. And
Do
oh,
you
they
mean
go,
like the box of cheddar?
like it was like
City?
yeah, like, you go down to the co-op to get a block of cheese, and he just munched the whole thing for lunch
That is disgusting.
with a bag of salad as well.
Wow, he's a god.
He's a lovely guy, but I've never seen a man eat so much food at work.
My fucking hero.
It was something.
We've actually just we've got a job coming in for them soon.
Oh bloody hell!
I'm gonna tell my brother-in-law to ask around for salad, man.
Just ask for Pete,
Pete,
service manager.
I think my brother-in-law and Pete will get on quite nicely.
Yeah, he's just the man can eat food. Put it that way. You know, like a normal person, standard, average human being, lunch. You know, microwave lasagna. That's you done. No. 2 microwave lasagnas, 4 packets of McCoys, 2-litre bottle of Pepsi, and a Cadbury chocolate bar. And then before lunch, you'll have a pot noodle.
A pound Cadbury's chocolate bar, or just a
Big
normal, like,
bar. Everything is big. And then, about an hour before lunch, we'll have a pot noodle. We'll have some noodles or something as well.
He does sound, by what you're saying, he does sound like he'd be the guy to go to an airport just to pick up the giant Toblerone bars.
Yeah, or it'd be like, I'm going to Mackey's, and it'd be like Big Mac, double cheeseburger, large fries, large drink. Come back from Mackey's, go back down the carp, get some crisps and some chocolate, munch them.
It's such a shame that you never went on a Christmas do with them.
Oh, they never did one. That's why no one wanted to go on one.
It's probably because they thought Salad Man would eat all the food. Be nothing left for anyone else.
But yeah, I worked there a long time, and during COVID it became it was always shit, but during COVID it became extra shit.
You did get put on furlough though.
I mean, I did, and then I had to go work during lockdown by myself. But everyone else was still at home in isolation. Cavs at work.
Yeah, you could have done that shit from home.
Not really.
What, ordering parts?
Well, I can't.
Because that's what it would have really
Yeah,
been.
but I can't get parts in if I'm at my house and like, yo, order some parts to Clarion Cars, please. Or do invoices for customers, because I was running service reception during COVID.
Right.
So I was doing everything, which was great fun. So I would not recommend working in car garages in Worthing.
There we go. Liam, hit us up with your second job.
I was a big boy window cleaner. And
Yeah,
that,
really.
I can say, is probably one of the best jobs I have ever had.
I imagine it would be quite fun.
Yeah, it's sick. It was me and my uncle every day. You'd start the day at 6 o'clock. That one was a bit tiresome. But you would be finished by 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock, you'd go home.
Yeah.
So, like, you wouldn't want anything more, because you charge per window on a house. So we were doing £2 per window, meaning that within the space of an hour, we're cleaning like 3-4 houses. We've earned pretty decent amount there. Heading up to 100 quid in an hour, splitting it 50 quid an hour basically.
Yeah. And
then we'd get tips and stuff on top of it, and we could just piss around because it didn't matter. It was literally just us two.
Yeah. And
then I remember my uncle got an injury from all of it, because some of those puddles, they don't look like they're heavy, but they're bloody heavy.
And especially when it's high as well.
Yeah, and we were cleaning flats down bottom floor, and it's like 7 stories high, and we're cleaning them from the ground.
Yeah.
It got too much, and he done his back in, so we had to call it quits. And then it left me unemployed for, I think it was about 8 months.
Rough.
Yeah. I've spent more time unemployed than I have employed.
I think No, I've definitely spent more time employed, but it's being unemployed is rough. It's always worth having a job to go to before you leave somewhere if you can. Obviously, if it's
If you
like,
can help.
yeah, if you can help it, don't just leave anywhere for the sake of leaving somewhere. Make sure you got a job before you leave, if that's on your mind.
If it's on your mind.
Yeah, much like my second job where I
Yeah.
wanted to leave. So after the plumbing, obviously I was unemployed, and I was like, right, gonna do another apprenticeship because didn't go to college, so I did need to get some form of qualification. So I was like, right. So I went and worked in a class as like a housing society. So they had on-site houses for like people over the age of 60. So I think there was like 80 or 90 of them, something like that. I can't remember now. I mean, it wasn't even that long ago, but it feels like it was ages ago. Then we had a nursing home as well on the site, which was, I think it had 65 rooms or something like that. And then they also had houses for homeless and vulnerable people off site around Littlehampton, Rustington, and like Bognor, really. One in Chichester, I believe. So I went in as a housing and finance assistant or something like that, I believe. The housing side was fun. Like it was good. Like, so I'd have to, in the morning, we used to have a call system, so I'd phone up all the like over 60s on site, make sure that they were okay in the morning, and then I would then go and do some of our like finance stuff. So I'd make sure that all of like the rents had come in. So at the start, because people are paying every day, obviously. So yeah, I'd make sure all of the rents had come in from all the different houses on and off site. And then I would normally go out to a couple of the houses, go around and collect rent, like in cash, because some of them paid cash. Because it was literally because they were just pretty much getting it all from benefits. So the organisation was classed as a charity, so their rent was literally like £50 a week or something like that. It was like accessible for them pretty much constantly, and they could pay it on a weekly or fortnightly basis. I think sometimes some of them, depending on how many people lived in the house, it was like £20 as well. So it wasn't like ridiculous like money. It was all fairly easy for them to like live. And then once I got back, had my lunch, then I'd go over to the finance office and like put on just like payments that the nursing home needed and all this stuff. And after I joined in October, and in June the following year, I got a promotion, kind of, but I was still an apprentice. So I was earning a little bit more money, but someone left in the finance team, and they literally had like two people, so they needed me to go over there. So I got paid a little bit more money to spend my whole days in finance. But looking back at it now, the housing side of it was definitely more interesting, purely based off the fact that like the people that I was dealing with outside were just mad. So I had a wardrobe thrown at me once because someone didn't want to pay their rent, and so I went round asking for their rent, and there was a wardrobe thrown at me. That was interesting. I had there were a lot of like alcoholics and like drug addicts as well.
Really?
I remember like dealing with like having to like kick people out their houses was like, that was shit. But because they were like spending all their money on like drugs and alcohol, that was shit. It was just not fun. Apart from this one guy who was just an arsehole. So I was quite happy to see him back out on the streets. That sounds really horrible, but he was an arsehole.
Sometimes just do be like that.
Yeah, like it was just grim. Like you just walk into his room in their house, and there would just be like needles everywhere. There'd be like blood splats just like up the wall and on the ceiling and shit like that from where he'd been shooting up. Like that is, and it just stunk of like decaying flesh as well. It was just vile. So just to get him out and just being able to walk around that place without worrying about like pricking yourself with a needle and stuff like that was just nice. But yeah, I remember there was once just like a stabbing outside of one of the houses that we worked at. That was mad. There's just a stabbing outside of none of our things, but then obviously the people that we were housing, just their instincts were just like, right, got to get involved. So we got and then we just got like loads of calls. I remember the one thing that pissed me off the most is that around the housing office we had this like, it was called the purple phone, and it was the on-call mobile, so 24-hour service on-call mobile. So I think I used to take that home on a Tuesday, I think. And one night I got a call at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was, the microwave's not working. And I was like, what do you expect me to do about that? And they're like, I'll send the maintenance out. I was like, I'm not sending maintenance out for a microwave not working at 3 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing?
Why is he trying to use a microwave at 3 in the morning anyway?
I think they might have had a interesting way of trying to heat up a spoon, Kavanagh.
Oh.
Oh,
naughty. Naughty men.
Yeah, I think they had a rather stupid way of trying to. They weren't the most intelligent of tenants that we had.
They weren't the biggest brain crackheads ever.
Yeah. Oh, and then we had. I mean, I don't know if I'm even allowed to say this kind of shit, but we had like a sexual assault case. Yeah, that was mad. So it was like this 60-year-old Romanian lady. I'm probably going into far too much detail here. And like a 21-year-old lad, and the 21-year-old lad had a girlfriend, so he ended up sleeping with like this 6-year-old Romanian lady, and then the girlfriend found out, so he was like, oh yeah, she like forced me to have sex with her. But the Romanian lady was just like, well, nice. So we were like, okay, we're gonna have to take it as an actual thing. It turns out that he just like ended up sleeping with her and just panicked when the girlfriend found out and accused her of. But it was mental. It was like the talk of like Littlehampton for long. It was
Imagine being the guy being known as the 21-year-old that fucked a 6-year-old woman. Trying to get in that will.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
That was I forgot about that. I forgot about that until I just mentioned it. But yeah, no, it was mad. It was just all. I think it started because the hot water in his shower stopped working, so he asked if he could use her shower. So obviously, like, he just had no clothes on. He's like, want a shag.
Littlehampton's a mad place.
It is it's got nothing on Bognor.
Littlehampton.
Big up LA.
Yeah, it has got nothing on Bognor.
Bognor is oh god, that place is interesting.
Mate, my little brother went there to watch a Worthing game the other night. At night. He went to watch a Worthing game at like night time. He didn't get back till like 11:30. I thought he was dead at one point. I was like, better just ask him how the game was to see if I get a reply. Did reply, so it was all good.
Yeah, Bognor is it's full of specimens. That's how I explain it.
Yeah.
The problem is, right, Bogner's filled with some really dodgy people, but they're building some really stunning areas over there. So it's so difficult to decide.
Yeah, and they've kind of. I mean, B&M is pretty much in Bognor as well, and
that place is mad.
I think it's a little bit overhyped. I can't lie.
Yeah,
everything's just so cheap. It's beautiful.
Yeah, but
it's a bit. It's like a cheap version of the Range. Is all it is, Cav.
Yeah, is that how much wrong with that?
Well, yeah, but we've got the Range in Worthing.
Go to indoor skate park in Bognor, mate. Go up to BMM, pick up your snacks, your drinks.
BMM.
Whatever it's called. B and M.
Yeah, there we go.
You know, get all your goodies from there beforehand. Go to the skate park, have a little sesh. Cheap little day out.
Haven't heard you speak about a skate park in yonks.
I know, it feels
Back.
safer being on this side of it all, really, doesn't it?
Back in the day,
Yeah.
hitting fatty bar spins with the boys.
Anyway, who's doing the next job?
Liam.
But yeah, if I don't, Cavs will be done already.
Yeah.
After the 8 months of unemployment came Sea Life. Sea Life in Brighton.
Oh yeah.
Banging job. Another one of my top tier jobs I've had. And
You got to finger goldfish for a living.
hell yeah. But there was, like, the people I worked with were all insanely cool. Actually, the work you do, operating the glass bottom boat, taking people on tours on that, behind the scenes, and even manning the rock pool on occasion could have been cool. Teaching classes, all of it. It just sat really well with me. It was really, really cool. I got nothing but compliments the whole time I was there. I got loads of good KPI. I was recognised by Merlin themselves, so not just Sea Life, you go and even higher up. It was a banging job, but the pay was awful, considering I had to get on a train every day to travel all the way over to Brighton to work.
Yeah.
3 days a week if I was lucky, because we were all on 0-hour contracts.
Oh, okay.
And then and then by the end of it all, one of my last ever shifts, I'd done a 14-hour shift. I opened up, I cleaned all the windows in the morning, which was perfect because obviously I loved the window cleaning from the job before. Worked a full day, had no breaks because it was insanely busy, so I hadn't eaten anything. And then I'd done a charity show thing afterwards where I was doing nothing but operating 5-minute glass bottom boat rides, which is physically impossible, but we were doing it. Mans was moving. And then by the end, there's we've kicked out all the customers. It's about 10 o'clock at night, and my boss is like, yeah, no, well done to all of you, Liam. Well done for, dealing with boat tours that quickly and doing it all by yourself, and all of that is very impressive. And then he goes, if people want to go around and collect the charity pots, that'd be great. I go to collect a charity pot, and then I pass out, and I've woken up, and there's blood everywhere. And apparently I've had a seizure, the whole lot's gone on. And I had no idea, and I just sit up and 2 paramedics are there, and they're like, have you got any idea what's gone on? And I'm like, not at all. Not a bloody Scooby. I probably stuck there for about a month after that, while I was trying to look for another job, because they wouldn't let me do anything. I had to stand on rock pool for 8 hours each day I was in, which was so dull because there was days when no one would come in. And over that time period, they changed the little cafeteria area where we used to be able to speak to people on the other teams.
Yeah.
But they completely blocked it off. You could no longer speak to them, and it was literally just you standing there, looking forward.
Cool vibe.
There's got to be security tapes from that building somewhere of literally me walking around the rock pool, doing laps, singing along to stupid songs. But yeah, then obviously I left it, which I was really, really sad about. That was quite a difficult job to leave. But it happens.
Indeed.
All good things come to an end.
We still can't really go to Cav, otherwise it's just gonna.
All I'm gonna say, this might. Hello everyone. We might have to make this into a couple parts because we're already at 35 minutes.
Oh,
Okay.
And we've got
Cav's got food coming. Cav's got food coming.
No, I have got food coming. Also, we've got like 5 more jobs from Liam to come.
Yeah, and you've got 3 more from me.
Let's hear this. One more spin from you.
Should I just get my? I'm not gonna go in chronological order. I'm gonna do the job that I did for one day because it was fucking mad.
I know this one.
Let's hear what they all are as well. Anyway, like you don't have to go and describe them. What were they?
Yeah. So, obviously, I went on to a financial position after that. That was quite. I really got on with the boss because he was like 22, so that was good. But then he was leaving. There was a bit of a there was friction amongst the whole organisation with management. So when the one person that I got on with best was leaving, I also left after I found a new job, which was my 1-day job. And I was on the assumption that I would be admin based in this job, and I went in and it was working in a funeral director's, and on the first day I think I saw 4 or 5 dead bodies, and it freaked me the fuck out, and it was horrible. And the first thing that you had to do when you went in was we had to clean down the hearse, which that was fine. I didn't mind that. Second thing, I'm in the back of a hearse driving to a funeral. Oh my god, I'm shitting myself at this point. The first actual job that I had to do was carry a war veteran on my shoulders that had the British flag over his coffin, and they're like, right, when it goes down onto like the table thing, they have like these little wheels so you can like push it. They were like, right, just make sure you go down the two, because I was at the front. Make sure the two of you at the front go down at the same time, otherwise it smacks on its way down. So oh god, I'm looking at this guy, and we're at slightly different heights. I was a tiny bit taller than him, so I'm like, right, I've got to go down a little bit quicker than him. So we hit it at the same time, got it down at the same time, and then as we went down, they were like, right, just make sure you don't get the flag caught in the thing, otherwise the flag's just going to rip off completely. So as the flag went over the thing, I don't know if anyone saw me, but I was going like this, just making sure the flag thing. I was shitting myself that the flag was going to get caught in these rollers and then just come flying off. So anyway, I got out of there, and that was a stressful start to my first day. Then I got assigned with this like guy. He was really nice, and we went back to the like office, which is also where they had like the morgue. And we started taking bodies out of the fridge, and that was the point where I was like, this isn't the job for me. This is not what I want to be doing. I remember there was one in there that had just a football shirt on, and I was just like, this is just weird. This is really weird. And they don't even look like, they look like Madame Tussauds waxworks. They don't even look like people. It's just, yeah, it was weird, but you could see that obviously you just know that they were people before, and yeah, it wasn't enjoyable. I didn't enjoy it at all. So I got home, and I had like the longest shower I think I've ever had. I was just like freaked the fuck out, and I sent them an email saying I won't be coming back. And then they asked me to go in the next day, so I popped in, and I was like, I'm not doing it. And they tried to convince me to stay, and I was like, nope, it's not for me. And then I was unemployed again over the Christmas period for about 4 or 5 months. And then I got my job that I'm currently in, which is working for the NHS, doing all like keeping all the training up to date in town, and it's all right. I don't mind it. When I first joined, the team was really young. A few of the people have left. Quite a few of the people. I think 4 or 5 of the younger people have left now. So there's me and 3 others that are younger than me now, but everyone else is quite a bit older. But I'm slowly making my way up through the department, and I work in town. So when I'm not being super strict on a diet, I mean, it's ideal because I can just go to Greg's, or I can go to Mackey's or Fernando's Grill. That's banging. They do some sick wraps. So yeah, I mean, NHS literally got employed a month before COVID started, so it was
You're
between
not really been there that long.
No, 2 years in about a week or something like that. So yeah, 2nd of February was my start date, 2020, and yeah, it's fun. It's not too bad, and I now get to work from home on Fridays, which is even better. So there we go.
Without anyone knowing.
Exactly. No. What do you mean? It's more just watching Netflix without anyone knowing.
Wink.
There we go. I think that was a rapid run through of the jobs that I have done towards the end of it. Then,
Cav, do you want to go through your final job?
Let me.
Turning to M&M to get through my shit.
So my current job, and also my second job, I work at Pinnacle, which is I don't know I don't know what you'd even describe it as
Embroidery and print company.
design, embroidery, and print company. As you can see, I made everyone some fresh UKMF garms the other day, as presented by William Goldsmith himself. But yeah, I've been there. I think this will be my 4th month. I think.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Roughly 4th, 5th. I think it's 4th. Yeah, got no complaints whatsoever so far.
That's unlike you.
Being told the good news of April is our wage review thing, so I might be getting a pay rise in April as well. So
That is the standard, Cav.
well, not at Clarion Cars, it's not.
It's just the financial year, mate. That's all that is.
Oh no, but
We'll let him have it.
No, but at Clarion Cars, it's just there is no negotiation of wage. It's just we're going to give you a shit wage and be poor forever.
Yeah, but you did get furloughed, so I just don't think you have.
I was there for like 6 years of my life. I never got a single pay rise, apart from they gave me a full-time job, which they had to give me a pay rise for.
Oh yeah, to be fair, I did get that 3% pay rise this year for the NHS.
Bollocks.
Son of a bitch.
But yeah, everyone's really nice there.
Yeah.
Staff is good. Management is amazing. No complaints about anyone. And I just do embroidery. So everyone else does. Most people do multiple jobs there, but I'm not the only person. I do one job only. But I have
You're not trusted.
well, everyone's been there for years. I've been there 4 months, so I think that's fair enough.
Everyone does the hard graft. Cav shoves an item of clothing in a machine.
I mean, some people just take backing out of t-shirts and fold them up and put them in boxes.
That's hard graft, mate.
Some people, if I could do that, I'd be great. I'm there stressing out about whether I've got something in line or not. Then it's on the t-shirt and I've not done it in line. Or now I can't do anything about it.
It's like Barnsley's place. Cav did Barnsley's and t-shirts. Or something like that.
Didn't.
Came out wonky.
That wasn't me. I've not done their clothing, so that's someone else's blame. But yes, all in all,
I'm going to be doing my family's company's clothing soon, which I'm very nervous about.
I'd rate my current experience a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. I think I'd rate my NHS experience probably like an 8, but that's probably a lot to do with COVID and the fact that I haven't really been. I was never furloughed. I just got to work from home 1 day a week, and now it's gone up to 2 because I'm a higher band. I've had like 4 pay rises since I joined the NHS. It's kind of mad.
Don't get me wrong, the job itself isn't the most exciting job ever, but it's more the people who I'm working with make it a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah,
and
it makes such a difference.
And the fact that the management are actually really nice and really decent makes life so much easier. So, would recommend.
Right.
Go on, Liam. Let's hit.
Liam's time to burn through 5
Liam's
jobs.
gonna whip out a scroll.
So I got a few. So from Sea Life, I ended up going. I was unemployed for a couple of months in between because there was nothing to do at Sea Life. I didn't really care too much about money aspects at that point. Every now and then between Sea Life and starting my next job at PGL, I worked for my parents fitting garage doors, which was honestly a ball. Like, it was such tiring. Like, you'd go out at 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes just to get someone's door closed. It was ridiculous.
Just unlock it.
But yeah. But PGL is obviously an outdoor activity centre that most people do when they're younger. That was it was all right. Living on site and being around everyone there 24/7, working 6 days a week, that's where it got a bit much. But majority of the people there were extremely lovely, so it made it quite bearable.
Yeah, it does make it better, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then we all got fired because of COVID. And
Sick.
Yeah, and it was completely fired at that point. So we were all like, well, we're all done for, aren't we? And then I think it was about a month into lockdown, they called us all up and they were like, "We've not fired you. We've not sent the paperwork through to finalise it. Instead, we're just going to put you on furlough." So didn't have to do any work whatsoever that entire time I was on furlough. I think it ended at the end of October. So a whole year of not working, just earning. And it was earning even more money as well, because I didn't have to pay for food, living accommodations, or anything. So I was earning an extra, like, 400, 500 quid a month. It was
Jamie,
awesome.
Jamie, yeah. You're...
Oh, yeah. But yeah, and then from there I ended up having to say to them I wasn't going to go back, and I got a job at a pub in Durrington.
Yeah.
I will call them out. I will. Parkview. And they are absolute arseholes. I was in a really, really, really dodgy state, and they ended up firing me because of my mental health. So we don't very much like them. Then I became a door fitter again for a little while. I think it was probably about maybe 4 months I was fitting doors again. Again, the late nights. There was one in Brighton next to Sea Life. There's a bar underneath the zip line.
Yeah.
It's quite a nice bar, actually. I really like it in there. And we've sorted their doors out like 5-6 times. And I remember we said to them, "Do not touch this door." And they go, "Oh, okay, yeah, we got it." And the next weekend, they called us back out again to sort out the door. And we were like, "Don't touch it." And they go, "Oh, well, we weren't told." Well, now you have it. Don't touch it. And now I am a yardsman for that same company. So, taking deliveries yet again, just like Peacocks. Full circle. Send the lads out to their jobs. Sometimes I have to go out, help fitting doors again. I've been asked a couple of times to go fit windows because it's 2 companies there. I've not done the window fitting yet because I will break the glass. I think that's a given. It's so scary when you get a glass delivery come through and they're like, "Yeah, there's about 130 units," and it's not all small little dainty windows.
Yeah.
You get proper door size windows. You're like, "I'm done. I'm done for." I remember not the last one I done. Maybe one before that. It was the biggest delivery we've ever had, and it was me and a guy who works for my parents who's mute. He's quite a large boy, so he's always out of breath, and he's carrying all the tiny ones. I've got the really big ones. He's carrying the tiny ones, and you hear him walking around going, "Ah, ah." I'm like, I hate you so much. But yeah, that's where I'm at now, and it's actually all right at the moment.
There we go.
I've refused to do it for years, and I'm enjoying it.
Good stuff.
Chef kiss.
There we go. Does anyone have any career aspirations before we finish up? Anyone want to do anything?
For a UKMF podcast to boom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if this was to do well, that would be nice. Obviously,
It would be Perk.
I've got a couple of others. My mum and I are looking at.
This dog is driving me mad.
My mum and I are looking at starting a bar here in Worthing, but obviously we don't want to talk too much about that.
Cat's eyes lit up.
And then, oh yeah, and then really long term, really long term, I'd absolutely love like
Porn
a
star.
rescue. Yeah, porn star. I'd really love a porn star. Lana Rhodes hit me up. Riley Reid, I'm here. So I'd like to have my own like conservation park and rescue and rehabilitation centre for animals, because that'd be sick. Just a huge open space, obviously animals separated from one another, but just a safer spot for.
I reckon you make a real life battle royale with all the animals.
Chuck them out of a plane.
Cav, is there anything you want to do that is not game related, or YouTube, or like social, like
Not really. Dog.
Is there any real job that you want to do, Cav? Any real job?
Not really. No. Oh, the female's back as well.
Or you're just gonna be embroidery man 1, 2, 3 for the rest of your life.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, fair.
What about you, Sven?
Probably just personal trainer. I was planning on doing my qualification at the end of this year. I've been planning on doing it for the past 3 years. So, but yeah,
We shall see.
planning on doing it at the end of this year. And then obviously because I've got the private gym, can just get a few clients down there, build up a little bit of a clientele, and then zoom off into the big world. And then that Jesus Christ.
Alright, on that note, we're gonna call it an end. Cheers for watching.
Ta-ra.